Hey everybody.
Hi.
Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, just excited that we're gonna have a video here and give you guys a little update. We hope the video format has been good for some of you guys, or most of you guys at least. If it hasn't, please respond with an email or something and let us know that it's not the best or sometimes it's hard, but we're doing the videos because we think maybe it's just easier to be able to click that and hear about what's going on with our lives and our ministries and our family. So hopefully it's been a blessing and able to keep you guys updated with what you've been a part of. And so it's been about a month, probably a month and a half since we've got an update out, and it feels like a lot has happened in this last month and a half. The beginning of second semester, we're actually on spring break right now, so it really feels like the first half of the second semester is already gone. I don't know if spring break's actually halfway through, but it kind of feels like that's where we're at. And so yeah, a bunch of cool things we want to talk about, and we're celebrating and thanking the Lord for. So yeah, we'll share a few of those things. But one is, there's been a shift. I think when we first planted or we first moved here in December 2022, there was a real conviction with our team to just do a lot of the work and the effort of church planting and the fighting on our knees in prayer. And I feel like that was definitely what we were doing, how we were laying the groundwork for our church plant. And then it's one of those things where, like, okay, their students are here, it's August, and we get welcome starting. Sometimes it's just so easy to get focused on what we can do and lose a little bit of prayer focus. But that's just been recovered in a lot of ways, I would say, in the last couple of weeks of our church. And we have a time even during our Sunday gatherings now where we're breaking up into groups and praying. And it's been the most refreshing and just an enjoyable thing. But it's not just our Sunday gathering times, our worship service. It's permeating our staff meetings and our leadership times and our core team times and our Sunday service times and just a lot of different things. And so it feels like our church we keep drawing this distinction between just a church that prays and being a praying church. And so that's been a really sweet part of the last month and a half.
Yeah, and with that has come a lot of really exciting things and things that we're celebrating. So you've heard through all of our updates a lot about Peyton. We first got connected to Peyton when she was in Bellingham. She was a senior in high school, and she was best friends with a pastor's daughter in the area. So she was kind of going to church, but we knew this pastor. So through this random connection, we started hanging out with her when we moved down here because she goes to CSU. And really since then, she has decided to follow Jesus and decided to get baptized. She is going to Elevate this summer. There's so many things that is happening in her life and with her walk with the Lord, but something that we're really celebrating is she just recently joined we call it our Village Fam, and that's kind of the core group of people that really plan Village and plan how we go forward and reach CSU's campus. And so she's become part of the leading force in that, which has been really cool to see. And with that, she started a Bible study on campus. And so we are really celebrating that she wants to not only have this faith for herself, but that she also wants to bring others into it. And she's been convicted to start that Bible study. So we're praying for her and praying for that Bible study to get momentum as they go into this latter part of the second semester.
Yeah, the real win with Peyton, I think this is true, but so we called the 16 people that moved here to start the church our core team. I think Peyton is the first. So we make up pretty much all the leadership right now, like the Village Fams, so the Village leadership teams and things like that. I think Peyton is the first non-core team member in any sort. Was the first. Now there's 4 or 5, but she's the first non-core team member in Village Fam and any sort of like leadership area of our church, which is just a blessing because that's why we moved here, is to see the church be built, grow, and specifically reach students and get students connected. So to see a student coming into the leadership team is awesome. There's another guy named Trey we're excited about. Trey, he was a CSU student. He had dropped out and now he's just working full time, but one of the guys I lead got connected to him at the climbing gym, and so Trey started coming to service. He's a new believer, very recent, and he's pretty much done his Christian life, the beginning of it, on his own. And so he'd been praying for a church, and that's when he and his roommate met my guy Graham. And so Trey came over, we played some Catan, and then he came to a Sunday service. And it was just cool. At that Sunday service, I asked him, what did you think of, the Resonate conference video we showed? And he was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Talked about it for a minute. I was like, what's stopping you from going? It was like a week and a half before ResCon, 2 weeks before ResCon. He was like, and then, through some circumstances and some generosity and people providing financially and him paying some stuff, and it all worked out to where he got to go to ResCon. He'd been connected to us for like 2 weeks. And it was just a big moment. Just a big breakthrough. We got to pray with a different pastor within our network who came and shared with me a little bit what that was about and what that was like. And him and I got to have some good conversations about just the things he's battling, and then even some touch points and falls when we got back about big decisions he's trying to make in his life. And so it's just cool to see someone how quickly he's like become part of our church, and he's in a discipleship group with Graham, and they're going through our Grow book together, and Graham's leading him. And so yeah, it's just been cool to see like seemingly someone come out of nowhere. But I guess there's a couple people we're going to talk about that are all gym connections. So anyway, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And then this past month we also had, you heard Matt mention it briefly, ResCon, which is our Resonate conference. Annually, all of the churches in our network gather together in Spokane, Washington, and we get to hear from our pastors. We get to do breakout sessions, and it's really a sweet time of worship together and reflection about what God has been doing through our church and then what he's going to continue to do. And what was really sweet about this is we didn't really know what ResCon was going to look like for us and for our church, since we are in Fort Collins, and that's a pretty brutal drive to go from Fort Collins to Spokane.
Yeah, you just don't want to go through Wyoming.
You have to go through Wyoming
crazy.
And through Montana. So we decided pretty early on that everyone from Fort Collins who were going to go to ResCon would have to fly. And so we didn't know what that would look like financially. We didn't know if we could get students to commit to that.
Well, it's about a $500 commitment per person.
Yeah.
Which is a lot for a student.
Right. And so we just didn't know how that was going to look. And then the Lord just kept providing, and people kept saying yes. And so we ended up bringing 33 people to Resonate Conference, which was really cool to see. Last year, it was the first year that our team had all been in the same room together, and there was 16 of us. And so just to even see that what God has done in this past year was a really sweet time to reflect. A lot of our students left Resonate Conference feeling really encouraged, really convicted to start to take their relationship with the Lord more seriously. We've seen a lot of students say yes to discipleship, yes to getting more involved since then. And so we're just really praising God for using that weekend to move in the hearts of different students. And I think the ripple effect from that kind of weekend we continuously see. And so that's a highlight of this past month, of just getting to see what the Lord has been doing in that.
Yeah, massive weekend. A couple girls just having lordship moments where they realized, and I'm all about Savior Jesus, but I have not submitted to the lordship of Jesus. And just repenting, and that other guys I got to pray with, sharing things and repenting of things that they had never told anybody. And one student saying, one girl in our village saying, I don't remember what she ordered it, but she said something like that, I've never grown as much as I did that weekend, just like spiritually. So yeah, still feeling the repercussions, not of a motivating weekend, but just a moment where we got to say it at church. We were our text was out of Habakkuk, and was just really a moment of personal repentance and coming to the Lord yourself and saying, hey, revival and renewal doesn't start out there in our church and in our network. It starts right here in me. And so looking at that tax collector saying, God, have mercy on me, a sinner, was kind of the theme of what was happening at ResCon. It was amazing. Really, really good. Also, a couple people that want you guys to pray for. These are people that are primarily connected. I think they're all connected to our village. That's correct?
Yeah.
But it's Owen. Owen's a guy, and I actually can add a name to this. Owen, I met him at the climbing gym. He was wearing a Mount Rainier shirt, so I'm like, oh, are you from Washington? And we started talking, and he's a sophomore, and he just did a climbing competition with me and another friend and his girlfriend Lauren. They're both students. Oh, yeah, buddy. Sophomore and junior students, not believers. He would claim to be a Christian, but he doesn't know the gospel. There's a girl named Izzy. We met her at our Super Bowl party that we threw in the dorm we're trying to reach. A girl named Macy, who's a freshman, that came up to us this last Tuesday at the climbing gym. And she said, I'll watch Bear whenever, because she had just talked to us about him. And then she was like, if you ever look for a babysitter, I'd love to watch Bear. So Krista invited her the next night to Village. And she came, it was a little weird because she definitely came to hang out with Bear.
Yeah,
but it was still
definitely more there for Bear than us.
But then Peyton got her number and they're gonna hang out, so it was cool. So Macy's a freshman that just came to Village. We met at the climbing gym. Owen and his girlfriend Lauren. Izzy's the girl we met. Is she a freshman?
Yeah.
Freshman. We met at the Super Bowl party. And then Jackie.
Jackie is Izzy's friend that we also met at the Super Bowl party.
Okay. Yeah, so there's two girls there was a party downstairs that I think a sorority was throwing, and then there was our party upstairs, and for whatever reason they left the one downstairs and came to ours, and that's how we got connected to them. So yeah, just pray for Owen, Lauren, Izzy, Macy, and Jackie. Just some of the names. We're currently trying to reach these people and having conversations, and I guess just even a quick story it was Izzy, right, that had the car accident recently. Even since we met her, had a car accident that very well could have been, and she was kind of surprised wasn't fatal, and it already has her thinking, man, I need to think about my relationship with God, and so she's been meeting up with Krista's girl Brenna, and hopefully her and Jackie will be in a discipleship group with Brenna. So it's just cool to see, even right after we met them, it seems like the Lord's opened up some doors. So we're hoping to see some of these people, or all these people, saved and in discipleship relationships. So please pray for that. Please pray for a financial partnership. We're trying, and specifically probably wisdom about finances, and now having a kid. We're with this school year ending, Krista was offered potentially a 0.6 position in a classroom next year, which means she would work 3 days and then have the other ones off. And so we're just trying to figure out how much time away from Bear she'll have, and if we can do one income family, or do we need to be two. And so just prayers about wisdom around that decision, and then also that probably particularly that we would get connected to people here in Colorado that we could invite to be prayer and financial ministry partners with what's happening at Resonate Church and in our ministry. So yeah, please pray for those two things, the wisdom and the partners we connect to here. We're thankful for you guys, the blessing you are, the way you're a part of everything that's happening here. You're really making this possible for us to be here and reach students, and there are students being impacted on this campus. So we're just super thankful for you guys. We love you all, and please reach out and respond with emails and come visit us and all the different things. So, appreciate you guys.
Yeah, love you guys.